So there was a US study that broke down the phases of retirement, and I'll just quickly run through them just so that you can potentially identify which one you're in, understand the emotions that are associated with it, and the things that you can do at that stage to alleviate any concerns that you might have. So the first stage is the stage about between 6 and 15 years before retirement. You might just be starting to think about retirement. Kids might have been out of high school, potentially got college-age kids. Mortgages are getting close to being paid for, potentially. You might have aging parents, but you haven't really thought much about what you need to save for retirement. And that's what the first step is here, and what tonight's presentation is really encouraging you to do. Start to think about how much you will need to save for retirement, and then start to systematically save towards that. So that's the imagination phase or stage. The next one is the hesitation stage, and this was really brought about by the global financial crisis, where people had planned or starting to plan their retirement, and then what happened was the GFC hit and their retirement savings took a hit, and then they had to really hesitate and think about, well, am I actually ready to retire? And for some people that meant working a little bit longer to get through that difficult period of market returns. But at this stage, which is 3 to 5 years out, you generally accept retirement days approaching, and people are often starting to seek advice at this point in time to really solidify their plans. Then the anticipation phase, where you're really starting to look forward to that retirement period. When I'm talking about retirement, it doesn't necessarily have to be complete retirement. It can be still working, part-time or doing other things, but this is really focusing on once you're not doing any paid employment or paid work. But yeah, a couple of years out from retirement, you're starting to feel like you're on track. More than half are working with an advisor, and then you can really see that you're getting towards your goals, and can start to look at solutions for providing for your retirement income, like allocated pensions or annuities and other things like that. This is an interesting one to highlight for those of you that are about the stage of retirement. From the date of retirement for the next year, it's actually it used to be called the liberation phase, because you felt like you were liberated by not working anymore, but it actually can be quite a difficult year and a challenging change from what you were doing previously, and it's not always as upbeat as what you potentially thought it was going to be. So just to, highlight that, and to really plan for that period of time, and think about what you're going to engage in, particularly if you're going from full-time work to full-time retirement. It's well worth considering that. The reorientation phase is really just after that initial retirement stage. You're getting into your routines, you're feeling comfortable with them, and working through the retirement. The last one is really just your reconciliation phase, which is where you're starting to potentially deal with health issues and losing family, and thinking about your long-term health care. So that's just to identify the phases of retirement, which one you are particularly in, and to understand the emotions that you can experience during those periods, and thinking about what actions you can take to assist and alleviate any, negative emotions that you have. And the key one at the moment is, have I got enough to retire on, which is what we'll address now.